morning students, and welcome back once again to another video for the gravitational chapter revision for the post midterm exams. Okay, so in the previous video we studied about the universal law of gravitation and the derivation of the universal law, which is not much. It is very simple. That is, force of gravitation is directly proportional to the product of the masses, and it is inversely proportional to the square of distance between the two objects. Okay, we also know that the force of gravitation is actually a weak one. Okay, so even if the two objects are kept very close together, they do not attract that much because the force is very less. Otherwise, two objects kept on a table should attract each other, and they are actually attracting each other, but not with greater force because the masses of the two objects is very less. Okay. This gravitational force comes into act only when we are dealing with very large objects, and that is why our Earth, which is having a huge amount of mass, is attracting all of the other objects like ourselves and any other living or non-living object. So the gravitational force is always an attractive force because it always attracts, unlike magnet or electrostatic, which also repels. Gravitational force never repels. It does not depend on metals or non-metals. It doesn't care whether the other object is metal or not, like magnetic force, or whether the other object is charged or not. Gravitational force is always an attractive force. That means it is always attracting, never repulsive. Okay? And we also studied how the object moves when it is free falling. So what is free fall? Free fall is the fall of an object, or when the object is falling and moving under the influence of gravitational force only and no other forces are acting on it. Then such a fall is known as free fall. I repeat once again. What is free fall of an object? When the object is falling and moving under the influence of gravitational force only and no other force is acting on it, then such a fall of an object is known as free fall. And it does not depend on the mass of an object. Okay? Because the acceleration acting on all the objects will be same. How? Because we did a little bit of derivation ourselves. With what acceleration the object will be moving. And for that, we took the Newton's second law of motion, that is force is equal to mass into acceleration. Okay, and this force is happening because of the gravitational force. So this gravitational force is equal to mass into acceleration of the object, that is free falling. Okay, and force of gravitation is g into mass of our Earth because the gravitational force is applied by our Earth, and therefore this over here is the mass of the object which is free falling. Okay, so if you consider this force, which is the force due to motion, and this is the actual gravitational force, they both are same because the object is moving because of the gravitational force, and that is why the acceleration is happening. And so we equate these two equations, and ultimately what we get, this Fg and this Fg are same, and therefore mass into acceleration is equal to g into me, that is mass of Earth, and mass of the object upon radius of Earth square. Because the distance happens from the center of the Earth. Okay, so if you imagine this to be our Earth, and if the object is somewhere over here, then this is considered as the radius of our Earth. Okay, even though the object is falling from a certain height, it can still be taken approximately as radius of Earth. We are taking the distance approximately. We know that it is not actually on the surface, a little bit higher, but a few meters up and down is not going to make much of a difference. It is still going to remain the same. Okay, so we are approximately taking the distance as the radius of Earth, and so we are writing radius of Earth square. Understood? And now we are cancelling the mass because it is the same from both the sides, that is the mass of the same object. So what are we getting? The acceleration of the object moving is equal to gravitational constant. This is mass of Earth and this is radius of Earth square, because in the formula of gravitational force we have distance square. So we are squaring the radius of the Earth as well. And therefore, what we have when we substitute the values of gravitational constant, that is 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11, mass of Earth, that is 6.36 or 6.4 approximately into 10 raised to 24 kilograms, in radius of Earth, that is 6.023 into 10 raised to 6 or 8 meters, I am not sure, I'll confirm it. The radius of Earth is 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 meters, okay? And that is what we are writing over here. And when we solve all these values, then the final thing that you get is approximately 9.8 meters per second square. That means every object which is free falling is having the acceleration of 9.8 meters per second square. Okay. But this acceleration is happening due to gravity, so we are not just writing simple A, we are changing the sign, a symbol a little bit, and we are writing the symbol as small g. This g is acceleration due to gravity, but still because this is acceleration, we are writing the unit as meters per second square. Every object which is free falling is having the acceleration 9.8 meters per second square. Now, the reason I repeated the whole thing again because this is important and it is very important for you to understand this. Why are we doing this? Why are we taking acceleration as 9.8? Because if it is not clear, then it's no use going forward. Okay? So the next point is weight of an object. Okay? Weight is the force with which the earth is pulling. Now, ultimately, when we go somewhere, we write the weight of an object in kilograms. That is actually wrong. When you go to a certain place or when you go to doctors for a regular checkup, the mass and the height we write the weight as 40 kg, 45 kg, 50 kg, whatever your weight. But that is not actually the weight, that is your mass. We are writing kilograms in the back, 50 kilograms. That is actually your mass. If that is mass, then what is weight? Weight is actually the force with which the earth is pulling you. Okay? And because we are talking about force, then weight we are using this formula. Okay? So the formula for force is F is equal to M into A. But now we are talking about weight. So this force is taken as W. When we write W, it means we are talking about weight of an object. And over here we are writing mass, which may be 40 kg, 50 kg, whatever. And acceleration now, because this is happening because of earth, we are writing small g, that is mass into acceleration. I hope it is clear to you students. It is basically the same thing, mass into acceleration, just we are writing it in the form of weight, that is mass into gravitational acceleration, that is 9.8. Sometimes taken as 10 meters per second square for simplicity purpose, approximately, not always, sometimes. We will use these values only when it is given in the question. Okay? I hope this much is clear to you students. The weight of an object, and so the unit of weight is now newtons. Why? Because we are talking about force. This is mass into acceleration, force. So weight is having the unit Newton. Unit of weight is newtons. I hope it is clear to you students. Okay students, so we talked about the derivation and the weight of the object on the surface of Earth. Now the topic that is remaining is the weight of an object on the surface of Moon. Okay? So in order to find the weight, we have to simply apply this formula for the surface of Moon. Simple. So in order to find the weight of an object on the surface of Moon, we have W of m is equal to mass of object and acceleration of Moon. That is gravitational acceleration of Moon. But in order to do that, we will have to find the acceleration on the surface of moon. That means over here I will have to use mass of moon and radius of moon, and that will be a longer process, and it is not applicable every single time you can find the acceleration as well. But we are comparing the weight of an object on moon to that on the earth, which gives us a much simpler answer, because we have already found the weight of the surface on earth as well. So we'll simply equate this to find the ratio so that we can understand the relation between the two. So what I am doing is applying the weight of an object on moon upon weight of an object on earth, simply finding the ratio. And in order to do that, I will have to substitute the values. And how do I do that? That is gravitational force on the surface of earth and gravitational force on the surface of moon, simply comparing these two. As we know that acceleration is equal to g, that is equal to what we have just written, that is g is equal to gravitational constant mass upon radius. If it is acceleration of moon, then mass of moon and radius of moon square. If it is on the surface of earth, then it is gravitational constant, mass of earth and radius of earth square. So what I am doing over here is mass of object and acceleration, that is g mass of moon upon radius of moon square to the ratio of mass of the object, gravitational constant, mass of earth upon radius of earth square. Okay? After this, as you can see over here, mass of the object and gravitational constant are same values, they are not going to change. This small m is the mass of the object. So we are comparing the weight of the object on the surface of earth to that of the moon. What is the difference and what is the, you can say, difference between the weight of the two? And so that is why we are using this particular formula. Over here we will write the mass of the moon. So the only thing remaining is mass of moon upon radius of moon square to the ratio of mass of earth and radius of earth square. Now as you can see, this is in the denominator, so it goes up in the numerator and radius of moon comes down. This is simple mathematics. Okay? And how does this work? So the next step is weight of an object on moon to the weight of an object on earth will give me mass of moon radius of earth square upon mass of earth into radius of moon square. Now mass of moon is constant, radius of earth is also constant. We only have to substitute these values, and ultimately after solving that, I am not going to write all the values, you already know, it is given in the textbook. I am just explaining you how it is done. We are writing the values over here and then simply solving it. What we get is approximately 1 upon 6. After substituting the values of all of these physical quantities, finally we are getting the ratio as 1 by 6. And so we can write that the weight of an object on moon is 1 by 6 times the weight of an object on earth. Simple cross multiplication. This is how you find the weight of an object on moon. Okay? I hope this derivation is clear to you, students. What I have simply done is comparing the ratios of the two, that is weight of an object on moon to the weight of an object on earth, substituting the values m into g, but the value of g is g into m upon r square. So mass of moon upon radius of moon square, and value of gravitational acceleration, that is g 9.8 is written as gme upon re square, substituting that as well. Mass of the object is constant on the surface of earth or on the moon, and then gravitational constant is universal constant, so it is also going to remain same. So we can remove these values. So the only thing remaining now is mass of moon upon radius of moon square, mass of earth and radius of earth square. Changing the sides because denominator from the numerator comes down, and the denominator from the denominator goes in the numerator. And what we have ultimately is mass of moon into radius of earth square, and mass of earth into radius of moon square. After substituting the values of these physical quantities of the earth and the moon, that is mass of earth, mass of moon, radius of earth and radius of moon, we will get the ratio as 1/6. It is a very lengthy and complicated numerical. Okay, we just have to substitute the values and ultimately write this, that is 1/6. Cross multiplication of weight on earth, that will give me weight on moon is equal to 1/6 the weight on earth, because after solving these values we will get the approximate ratio as 1/6, and this is how you get the weight on the surface of moon. I hope it is clear to you, students. We will talk more about this in the next video. Till then, have a nice day.